Hey there everybody, Ira here. I wanted to take a look at a little game called Hooked. Now this is a simple little minimal puzzle game, which you can get on Steam for the low price of 99 euro cents if you're in Europe. I believe it is 99 cents in America and so on and so forth. Not very expensive. It is a small and short game, but it's pretty cheap. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and it was made by a Polish duo, Maciej Targoni and Wojciech Wasiak. Trying the Polish pronunciation there. It's I'm not used to Polish. But yeah, they've made some other puzzle games as well with a similar kind of aesthetic. And I think if you've played any of their games before, you might recognize the aesthetic. I've definitely played others from them, so yeah. They've done a nice job. I think visually it's very clean, very elegant, very minimal. It's also very clearly designed for mobile, and that has some implications for the PC. And with the first time you start the game, you get this screen without the arrows. I've already completed the game, so I have everything unlocked. This is the first level, and by trial and error, you can figure out that if you click the circle, the little thingy comes in. Now this is the only mechanic. Pretty much. There are a couple of other small ones that get introduced later, but the main mechanic is click a circle, follows the lines, and it pulls in whatever is sticking out here. Now, we'll look at the gameplay first, the tutorial. The tutorial is very important for me. Now, they don't have a little button that says tutorial or how to play. It kind of gives you the tutorial as you play the game, which I think is great. I think they do a good job. It's a minimal game. They don't need to explain what to do. Here you have two circles, you click them both, they both come in, okay? Consistency. Click the circle, the thing moves. 4 of them. Doesn't matter how many there are. As you click them, they get reeled in. Okay. I think they probably didn't need 3 levels to teach you that, but that's what they do. Now here on level 4, they've introduced a new concept, but I feel like they've done a very weak job of introducing the concept, because in Polish as in English, you read left to right, which means most people will see this and they will click left to right, in which case nothing unusual happens. However, let's go back to that level. If you click this one first, you will be introduced to the new mechanic, finally, which is if you pull something in and there's something in the way, it gets stuck and you have to start over. This is the key mechanic of the game, and I feel like they could have done a better job introducing it here. They do a better job here in level 5, where if you go left to right, you do get stuck. And then finally, you catch on. Okay, I have to do this one first. It's an order of operations kind of thing. Now, I have a criticism of the gameplay itself in that it's really, really easy for a really long time. I mean, it doesn't feel like a puzzle, really. Now, this is somebody who I make puzzles for a living. I design logic puzzles for a magazine as part of my work. And so, for me, a puzzle has to be pretty tricky before I even consider it a puzzle. And in this case, this is just a simple case of stop and think about what you're doing. Follow the line. Will this get stuck if I click it? No. Will this get stuck if I click it? No. And again, what was the point of having the hook here? It should have been on the left. Will this get stuck? No. And then this one. And it's for me, it's not much of a puzzle. If you're not great at puzzle games, or if you really feel like you're weak in logic and you want to train that, good. This introduces that you can click 1 and have 2 move, by the way. As you see, like, this tutorial is kind of dragging on for a long time, and this is really, really simple, and I think they could have given their audience a little more credit, maybe, and kind of skip some of this. And this is where we finally start to see, like, oh, okay, hold on a sec, back up. Which one do I click first? And you gotta follow the lines. And then from there, it is pretty simple. Now, the levels just continue like this for a long time. We'll skip ahead a bit. I'm not gonna go through the whole game for you. Let's see. This is a criticism I have of the interface. There's no level select. And it can be really super slow. Here's a new mechanic introduced, these little points that the signal sort of will pass along and go outwards from all the points to everything at the same time. So that's important. Then there's another mechanic. You see how frustrating it is to go through the levels, though. This is something that comes from mobile, I'm sure. But even on mobile, it is certainly possible to to create a little screen that says select level. It's not that hard, and they failed to do that. Another thing they failed to do is to give you any kind of menu and any kind of options. There's no sound options. That's the only option that I could see you really wanting, is to be able to turn off the music and or sound effects. And you can't do that. I haven't found any way, pressing all the keys on the keyboard, to turn off the sound. So you're stuck with the sound, basically. Yeah, here's a mechanic where you can change the direction of the line. I'm not going to solve these. I'm not going to spoil anything, guys. There are different types of these changers. But basically, it's all the same mechanic of follow the line and figure out which one to do first. And as long as you're careful, it's really not difficult for a long time. I don't think I made my first mistake until I was up to like level 40-something. This mechanic is a little more interesting, because instead of just following the lines, you now have to follow and you have to find this here and here, and it sends a signal. So for example, this goes here, goes along this, and pulls this one in. Here, it goes along here, and it stops there. So you're only moving that one right there. So that's the kind of purpose of the game. That's the whole gameplay mechanic. You slowly look around the levels, look along the lines, and, you know, what at first appears to be really chaotic, maybe, and really confusing and difficult, actually turns out to be very simple when you just take your time and follow the lines. So that's basically how it works. There are only 50 levels, and it took me, I think, less than an hour to finish the game. It will take some people longer, of course, and then you loop back around to the start, and that's it. The problem with there only being 50 levels, though, is this is the last level here. I'll just give you a quick look. I'm not going to try to solve it. I'm not going to do anything on it. This is what you see if you get to level 50. And it feels like it's just kind of just starting to get interesting. Like, I'm finally slowing down. I'm like, okay, wait. Can I do that? Well, no, because that goes there. And you kind of have to really take your time to go through it. And then that's it. The game's over. And it was kind of disappointing. I felt like, you know, they could have made it longer. On the other hand, I also kind of feel like there's only so much that can be done with this mechanic. You know, like, it's you click a thing and the thing moves. And sometimes it can get stuck. I mean, you can only make that so complicated. And as long as you take your time and go slowly enough, it never really gets difficult. It's just, the only time you're going to make a mistake is if you rush, basically, and you don't check all the lines carefully. So, it is a very simple game. I would recommend this game for older children, actually, especially if you can get it on a mobile device, like a tablet. I think it's a good kind of brain training, and it's a good patience training game. And kids really, I feel, benefit from playing patience training games. Adults can benefit as well, obviously. And if you really want to practice slowing down, looking at things logically, being patient, thinking things through, this is a great little toy for doing that. It's a lot of fun. I did enjoy it, as much as I have criticisms of it, in that it's quite short, there's no menu, and all of that. It was fun. I did want to play through the whole thing. And I was disappointed when it was over. So that should tell you, if you have €1 or $1 or £1 or whatever to spare, and you want a cute little puzzle game, Hook is a pretty good one. They also have others, which I will probably take a look at and critique as well, and see if they've improved over time with you know, the tutorial and the interface and all that. But I do think they designed primarily for mobile. And that is something to keep in mind. When you buy it on Steam, you're only getting it on PC. Or whatever computer you had. The game is available for all the standard mobile devices. It's on Android, it's on iOS, it's on Windows Phone. So I would recommend getting it there rather than on the computer. But I would recommend getting it if you have the time to spare and a little bit of money, and you want to play something kind of cute and fun. So that's all for this one. We'll be critiquing more games. If there are any requests, please do let me know. I'll do my best to accommodate them. Otherwise, I'll just keep going through games that I find interesting. And yeah, that'll be it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.